Hi there. Good morning. Welcome to Ridge Haven Life. My name is Ian, and this morning I'm going to be spending some time in the greenhouses. There's been some updates, some progression with the winter garden that I'd like to share, as well as some small projects that I'd like to get taken care of this morning before it gets too warm. Okay, so starting things off in the nursery greenhouse here. In all of these cups are where I planted broccoli seeds, and all the seeds that I've planted so far for the winter garden are on the older side. So the seeds that were planted in this area here, these are from either 2020 or 2021. But yesterday I noticed some broccoli sprouts. So that's kind of exciting. Nothing has popped up in any of the other cups yet from the other varieties, but that's okay. We'll see how those develop, and even if these turned out to be the only ones that sprout, I'll thin them out and have a nice batch of broccoli to go along with the starts that I have in the tomato greenhouse. So other things going on in the nursery greenhouse. There's this circular trellis that I put up for these two volunteer sugar snap peas to climb up. And since I put it up, they've grown, I don't know, probably about a foot. These should continue to do really well climbing up this thing. And there's these potatoes that are in the black pots along the wall here, and the leaves are starting to turn yellow, which means a potato harvest is coming up soon. Then there's this wall of snapdragons, beautiful hedge. I did not know that that snapdragons were perennials when I planted the seeds in this space 2 years ago, and under the right conditions, they'll just keep going. And it's not food producing, but I love the color. The pollinators love it, and every couple of months I just need to trim it back to make this into a nice hedge. But definitely a beautiful spot for the greenhouse. And on the other side here, I've got all these Cinderella pumpkins, 6 on this vine, 2 on that vine, and those are all really good size. Need to come up with a plan of what to do with those. And then starting here, this is all nasturtium. And I just love the variegation on some of the varieties. And then here's a snapdragon volunteer that hopped over from the other raised bed, just keeping that there for the meantime. And these nasturtium are just gonna completely take over this space unless I thin it out to make some more room for the winter garden. All right, I'm here in the tomato greenhouse, and the tree work for the day has begun, so going to have some chainsaws going on in the background. The starts that I planted a few weeks ago are all looking pretty good. So we've got these Brussels sprouts. These are all looking very healthy. And on the other side here, we've got kale, red Russian kale, that are looking good. And on the other side here, got spinach, and those starts are developing, almost popping outside of the cups there. And then the last of the starts was this broccoli here, and those are developing. All the seeds that I planted in this raised bed last week, so we got beet in that row, Brussels sprouts on the other side, spinach seeds here, and kale in the middle here. Nothing's popped up there, but that's all right. Not too concerned at this point. And then got this new window that developed from the storm that came through a couple days ago. So I'll need to do something about that today as well. So I think at this point the solo cups have served their purpose for all these starts, and one of the main reasons that I used the solo cups really for the first time with this garden was as a way of keeping the leaves from touching the ground, or touching the soil, or the mulch. In the past, whenever I would see a leaf that was drooping down or kind of leaning and touching the soil or the mulch, within a couple of days, that leaf would start getting eaten on, and because these were starts, that a lot of times had pretty devastating consequences for the plant itself. This seems to have done a pretty good job of keeping the leaves from touching any of the mulch or the soil. And you can see I use a pretty thick mulch, so it's pretty easy for a leaf just to touch a piece of straw or alfalfa or whatnot. Yeah, so I think at this point the solo cups have outlived their usefulness, at least for that. And as these plants get bigger, these are only going to get more in the way. So I think now would be a good time to take them out. At least for the Brussels sprouts, the kale, and the broccoli. The spinach isn't quite tall enough yet to do this, but yeah, I think these plants now are going to do just fine. So I think I've got a temporary good enough solution for this window that the recent storm blew out of the material here. I think I'm just gonna patch kind of these two panel areas with fencing. I've got a few extra pieces of this stuff, and can just clamp it in to the wood here, and that'll be good enough for now. It's still pretty warm, so I'm not worried about an extra hole in the wall not letting the greenhouse do its thing when it's really going to be needed during the winter. So that doesn't concern me. It's really about preventing something from flying in that wouldn't otherwise fly into to the greenhouses. So yeah, the western facing walls of the greenhouses just get hammered by the wind during the winter, and this material is just wearing pretty darn thin and just needs to be replaced. So we'll get that taken care of at some point, but doesn't need to be for today. All right, definitely not the most elegant, but definitely good enough for farm work. This will definitely prevent anything from flying in that wasn't otherwise able to do so before. And a good example of just kind of reusing stuff that's lying around, at least for temporary solutions. So this fencing here was in a tangled mess of some bushes that were down here, and so these were cleared out a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I kind of found some treasures littered on the hillside here, including some of the fencing. So before moving on to the last little project for this morning, I was gonna go head back to the house to get a snack until I remembered that I don't need to go to the house to get a snack. Got some sorrel right here. Pick a few of these leaves. Have a nice little snack before finishing up. So I'm here in the citrus greenhouse to wrap things up for this morning, and as I was scoping things out, I happened to catch some more snacks. So definitely going to add to the sorrel, have some strawberries. They're doing well in these green stalks, especially for this time of season. And then also these bush beans. All right, and after this snacking, I'll get back to work. But can you resist? Okay, so the last little bit of gardening work for this morning will be to deadhead the zinnias for seed saving. So just cut off the dead blooms and store those with all the wonderful seeds that are inside. And then next year, just take the blooms, crumple them up, and sprinkle them out, and hopefully have something that'll resemble this, because that's exactly what I did a few months ago, was take the deadheads, zinnias from that I had been storing for a couple of years, sprinkled them all out along with a bunch of other flower seeds in this raised bed, and it was only the zinnias that popped up. So zinnias seem to be doing pretty well in this space, and so time to save some seeds. All right, well, that is going to wrap it up for working in the greenhouses today. It's approaching midday. It's warming up quite a bit in here, so time to move on to something else. So, all right, well, thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy and take care.